So just quickly, I didn't have to delve much further but in trying to locate the connection, or to see who was the silver medalist um to Mark Spitz's gold medal in 1972, in trying to find that information, which I can't find to compile list of Olympic winners in 1972 yet, but I'm going to keep searching. But within that very few minutes, I found yet another close connection. And I've talked about my experience at MedVed Autoplex, and the fact that I was held at MedVed Autoplex till midnight when I was purchasing a GMC Jimmy, uh, attempting to get Charlotte Henderson, who, in retrospect, from 6 months before, had Charlotte given me my $8,000 inheritance and possibly more than that in regard to my grandparents' house, 6011 Glen Oak Avenue. Had I would have been able to pay for the automobile, for the GMC Jimmy outright with my inheritance that my Henderson family and whoever else was involved. I know my uncle Lloyd was the executor of the will. However, I don't know if how things were handled, and if he was aware that I didn't get my inheritance. Um, because Charlotte Henderson is just downright a slimy individual person. And so that was a way that she tried to control me. Um, and among other ways as well. But MedVed Autoplex was the name of the place where I was purchasing the GMC Jimmy. And there's a man who resembles uh, former um, vice president to Trump's presidency, Mr. Pence, who has a strong presence and puts himself in my path here in Boulder, as in um, men who look very much like Pence. For instance, when I was up at the garden, and the very arrogant, very tall man who resembled Pence gave me a really hard time about my garden and stuff like that, which he was wrong, I was right. And even whether it was wrong or right, the fact that he had other um, motivations for being at the garden, I can and have every logical reason to question. And in particular, the day he came up and made such a huge ordeal about an innocent mistake that I had made, and I had, and where I was right and he was wrong, it was within the argument and not within my initial error of, and this is really small stuff, but it's the way politicians and crooks and corrupt people do. They take every opportunity to make a big, huge ordeal out of small things, um, such as the fact that I planted seeds in the garden. In other words, I got the plots mixed up, and he came in like, I just robbed his bank or something. Literally, like, that's the type of attitude, like we were having a land war over some kind of multi-million dollar or multi-billion dollar plot of land, which we may have. And he knew information, had information, trying to keep me shut up about things, trying to keep me um and the fact that there's the presence of Penske. Like I always see Penske, Penske, Pence, and then the connection of Penske to Joe Biden. That I know it was Joe Biden in the photo of the Hertz rental car. So it's an avenue where politically and corporately there's still these people, these corporate and political interests and financial interests are trying to keep. It's yet another group of people that are here in politics. So I'm just me, right? So why is it so important for all these people to keep me in this very contained, very resourceless and dependent on, oh gosh, how many crumbs you're going to throw me today? And I don't want a bunch of bread appearing at my front door. Um, um, and it all comes back to land ownership rights, the diamond mines, my children. So this, in researching the 1972 Olympics, I found a man named MedVed who participated in the 1964 Olympics and was an Olympic champion. And his name, and he resembles Pence. His name is, I can't find it now. I was trying to find where his first name is mentioned. And the disturbing part of it all is see the arguments. Okay, it's Alexander, spelled Alexsandr, MedVed, in full, born September 16th, 1937, Belaya, Ukraine. And he competed in 1964. He was a wrestler, and I'm seeing a likeness of him to the man who Nicholas Rourke. And there's a man who appears in my path who I know is much older than he claims to be when in the conversations that we've had. Um, he and the first time I ever noticed him, and he might be the guy who was the homeless guy or assumed homeless guy in Harford County that we used to see like roaming around Harford County every once in a while, and we assumed he was homeless. I don't know that he actually was, but he's the man who Gene F. Henderson II wanted to bring in for dinner one time. I remember that. And he has a resemblance actually to Gene F. Henderson II. So possibly Gene F. Henderson II might have been looking for his own truth back then. And when he realized that this particular homeless man looks like him, he might have thought, oh, well, maybe this is my biological father or my biological grandfather, because Gene F. Henderson I and Gene F. Henderson II don't look anything alike. Um, and so the point of this is that child trafficking um, isn't an avenue to world peace. Born September 16th, 1937, Belaya Tsykurkov. I don't speak Russian. Ukraine, USSR, now Bila. So, I mean, these Olympics might even be part of what was going on in the Russia, the Ukrainian Russian uh, war, and this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It's like it never gets settled, but the men involved and the women who knew about all this stuff, they're still doing the same things over and over again, expecting the result to be different. Um, they're still trafficking children from, this place to another place, and children are not having stable lives, and it, all in the name of competition and finances, and nothing really important, which is stability, I would think. I gotta find better photos of him, because this just at I'm certain that's the guy. And so to discover if there's a connection of this man to MedVed Autoplex, there's yet another um, mm, 1964 Tokyo Olympic medalist. And again, Nicholas Rourke, who I think is this same person, this MedVed guy. Nicholas Rourke is a Tibetan, is a Scottish Tibetan monk. Um, who I've posted on my Facebook page information about. Again, why they don't put a pause thing on this live video. I'm going to end here because I'm getting caught up in research and I don't want to just leave the thing running.